What is up, guys? Pizza Boy here. Thank you so much for tuning into my video. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 things that I loved the most while I was delivering pizzas at Domino's. Now, if you're thinking about working for Domino's, I highly recommend it. Even though the times right now are very sensitive, going to people's doors and houses probably isn't the safest thing right now. I still believe Domino's was a fantastic place for me. I loved working there. The atmosphere is awesome, and the opportunities to grow throughout the company are actually very good if that's what you were looking for. If you already work for Domino's and you're just like me and you just want to know what else, if anybody else liked working there too, then this video is also for you. I also made a second video about the top 5 things I hated the most about working at Domino's or delivering pizza at Domino's. I'm going to be putting the link right up here or somewhere in the description below. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Real quick before we start, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. If you like, it starts pushing my videos up a little bit more and more people get to view them. It would really help me out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. This is going to be in no specific order, not from the least to the most. This is just the 5 things that I picked out of everything else, okay? The first one would have to be the fast-paced environment. Now, if you're sitting inside and you're making the pizzas, it can be fast-paced, especially during rush hour, especially late night weekends. You're always going to be making things. There's always a system. It's always planned out for you, and it usually is not a very dull night. The mornings tend to be a little bit different. Sometimes around lunchtime, it can be a little bit more adventurous. Especially on the weekends when you deliver almost at any time of the day on a Saturday or Sunday, it is always going to be fast-paced. You're always going to be doing stuff, especially like on Super Bowl Sundays. It's a never-ending fiasco of driving, walking, running upstairs, going to different apartment complexes, houses, wherever it is. It's always going to be a fast-paced environment, and I like that. I like that I wasn't just sitting still at some chair or whatever. It was nice to have a different scenario almost every day. It just worked for me and my personality. And number 2 for me would have to be the tips. It's probably the number 1 reason everybody wants to deliver pizza, besides if you just like pizza like I do, because I'm the pizza boy. The tips are awesome. Yes, it does depend on your location. Where I worked, I was very fortunate. There was a pretty good class of people that could afford a nicer tip. There was a pretty safe environment. There were a lot of hotel rooms. A lot of people traveled in, so there was always people there. You'd always get multiple deliveries in hotels. And that just made it easier because you'd always get tips. Newcomers always come into town, they want to leave a nice tip. Travelers always leave a nicer tip than the locals sometimes, especially when you start to get to know some people, you know who's going to tip and who's not going to tip. Travelers usually like to tip. They like to be nice to the people in the areas they're visiting, and that's always nice. Tips eventually paid for my car right here. There is no way I would have been able to afford this back then with just a regular 9-to-5 job. The extra tips definitely added to me being able to pay this car off within the first 3 months after I bought it. I got a loan for it. Worked my ass off for 3 months, paid this thing off in full, worth every single penny, and actually just driving, just a normal work schedule, I was able to do that and accomplish my dream of buying my dream car. Definitely an awesome, awesome bonus. Yes, there are some days where you would get 0 tips, and there are some days I would come home with $200 in tips. No joke. So it varied a lot. It depended on if there was a holiday or whatever. On average, I would make somewhere between if it was a good day, $30 to $60 a day. And on added cash, here in California where I was working, you get paid around like $12 an hour. So that plus 30, 60 bucks a day, you're working 5 hours a day. You're coming home with a nice little wad of cash at the end of the day. And that's always nice to spend, or to have some extra cash flow for little things, and that's nice. Number 3 for me would have to be driving my car. I love to drive cars. It's just a thing for me. So delivering pizzas was an awesome fit for me and my personality. I would get to leave the shop and drive. As long as I was getting there in a timely manner and back in a good time, I would have the freedom to go wherever I wanted. It was on my time schedule. As long as I was doing my job in a good time frame, I could basically be free the whole time. I wasn't just confined to one spot. And you're always delivering to different places every day. There's a lot of freedom that comes with that, where you're still employed by somebody else, working for somebody else, but you still have the freedom to go outside and do things. That was awesome. It's definitely an awesome perk if you are that type of person where you want that extra sense of freedom. You get some tips involved. You get to drive all the time. Awesome, awesome bonus. Just a side note real quick, I post content almost every day, so please subscribe if you like my stuff, and you'll be seeing a lot more of me. I actually decided to get this car because, 1, it was my dream car, but also because it is a blast to drive. There's almost no other vehicle that can compete with the Mini Cooper in the sense of reliability, economical fun, you know, where you still get fantastic gas mileage, but this thing is a hoot to drive in the street. You're not going to be breaking any speed limits, but you're still going to be driving this thing as hard as you can. It is awesome. I would highly recommend getting one if you're interested. Number 3 for me would probably have to be the free food. Now, I know it might sound a little weird, but yes, when you do work at Domino's, you do get massive perks. I can't remember the exact discount. I think it might be like 50% from what I can remember, maybe not really. You do get a discount off of food, and sometimes, you know, when, especially during busy weekends, I don't know if that's how it is for every store, but for our store, our boss was nice enough to, if somebody canceled an order for some reason, there's a lot of reasons they could have done that. If somebody canceled an order, the workers that night would have the option to eat that pizza or that salad or whatever it is, and they would give us, and we would have that opportunity. So it was nice, you know, when you didn't need to pay for your food sometimes, you'd be working all night long, get a nice free slice of pizza while you're doing it. It was a good bonus. It's always nice because it's not money you need to be spending on other things. Free food is always great. Free food is awesome. Free food is life. Free pizza is life. Now, on the driver's side of delivering for Domino's, you have your freedom. There's really no structure for how you do it, except for when you handle the customer. You know, that's up to you how you deal with customers. It's up to every single driver to decide how they want to do that. But one thing I do love, or did enjoy a lot about Domino's, was since it's such a big company, it already has everything planned out for you. So if you're one of those people that really does like a structured situation where you don't need to stress too much about what you have to do, there's already all these steps and plans for everything you need to do. That's exactly how Domino's does it. Even though I do enjoy the freedom of driving and the freedom to make my own decisions, I did like going back to the store and the location and being able to just run down the list of things I could do. I didn't need to overthink it. It wasn't a difficult job at all. There were some stressful situations, sure, but you know, if you're folding boxes or making pizzas or stocking, there's always a step-by-step process. It was very easy to get into, and I did enjoy that extra sense of knowing what to do next. You never felt like you were just sitting around doing nothing, and I like that, staying busy. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did make another video about the top things that I did hate about working for Domino's and delivering for Domino's. I'll put that up here or maybe in the description below, so look out for that one. I will be making another video talking about the best tips I would give to somebody who'd want to start working and delivering pizzas. I have a good system I made for that. I will be sharing that video soon. Also, I am making a video talking about the top 5 cars that I would use as a delivery vehicle. I take into account all of my experience delivering for both Uber Eats and Domino's, put it into a system, and figure out what car would be the best for you for that job. So, thank you guys for watching so much. Please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.